Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a great person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. You're either surrounding yourself with battery chargers or you're surrounding yourself with battery drainers. Like battery chargers, they push forward. Battery drainers, they pull you under, right? So like my question is, which one's got your ear? And the funny thing is that we've all heard of this. Like I know for sure from me growing up, my mom used to always tell me, and I'll say it in Spanish because my mom is Hispanic, we're Colombian. And so, dime con quién andas y diré quién eres. And so that translates in English, it's like, show me who you're rolling with and I'll tell you who you are. Right? And it all comes down to the thing that we all have heard of, like, we all become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with, right? And so you spend time with people who are, let's say they're just, I don't know, let's say they're overweight, right? Eventually you're going to become overweight too, right? If you hang around with 5 people, or not five is just a number, right? But if you hang around with the majority of the people you hang around with, they're slacking off, eventually you're going to slack off too. Literally went through that phase. Hanging out with people who weren't on the same mission as I was, hanging out with people who weren't driven, hanging out with people who actually, it sucks to say, about who weren't as successful as I was, right? And what ended up happening is that it lowered my baseline of what I accepted in my life. And that shit ended up lowering me and my results. But if I compare the whole other way around, when I hang around with people that are chargers, right? People who challenge me, people who are doing better than me, people who have ambition, people who have drive, people who are go-getters, like that shit, it raises your baseline of how you operate. It levitates you, it increases your operating system. It fuels you. It gives you more horsepower because you start becoming like the people that you hang around with. You see, who you roll with dictates how far and how fast you will go in life. If you hang around with people who are not motivated, who are not working out, who don't value their values, who don't value their relationship, who don't want to improve their relationship with their wife, who don't want to become a better man, who don't want to live healthy lives, who don't want to have discipline, who don't want to have values, morals, principles, and eventually you're going to become like those fucking people. You're going to lower your baseline of how you operate. You're going to just, all because you're hanging around with them, right? You might not intentionally want to do it, but it all starts feeding into your mind. And then subconsciously, you start acting like them because those are the people that you're hanging around the most with. But if you contrast that and you hang around with people who are fit, you hang around with people who value what they feed into their body, right? And they're not looking at just comfort, but rather like fuel, like looking at feeding yourself as fuel, right? If you hang around with people who work out, if you hang around with people who work on their marriage, if you're hanging around with people who are spiritually connected with God, if you hang around with people who value their values, their morals, and their principles, if you hang around with people who care about, becoming a better man, who care about doing their hobbies, who care about bonding with their peeps, right? About embracing their motorsport passions, right? Like you end up becoming like those people, right? And so, are you going to hang around with battery chargers or are you going to hang around with battery drainers, right? Are you going to hang around with people that are charging you up to become better? Or are you going to hang around with people who are bringing you down and draining you, lowering your baseline of how you operate? You see, battery chargers, they challenge you, right? Like when I hang around with friends who are driven, when I hang around with friends who want more in their life, when I hang around with friends who have very high ambition, right? Every time I put up a new idea or we're talking about life or we're talking about how things are going, they're literally always challenging me to do better. They're helping me raise the bar. They're helping me believe in myself. They're helping me push harder. They're helping me see the things that I'm not seeing. They're literally charging me up so that I can create a better life for me and my family. But when you hang around with the total opposite people, when you hang around with battery drainers, with people who comfort you into the mediocrity, with people who tell you to play small, with people, it's okay, you missed the workout, whatever, it's all right. And well, you know what, bro, let's just go eat fucking like shit, right? It's gonna feel good. Or when you hang around with people who don't value, becoming better, who don't value leading by example, right? Who don't, man, I can think about several people, right? And they're not bad people, but they don't value like how they treat themselves and how they treat their body. And then they have kids, and then they ask themselves like, man, I wonder why my kid ain't doing this shit. Like, well, motherfucker, it's so easy, it's so obvious because you ain't fucking doing it. And so if you live your life to operate based on the Chargers mindset, then you will evolve, you will level up, you will be the leader of your family that they need, and you will lead by example. You and I grinned and I smiled and I like, because it sounds so easy when you say it, but it's actually very challenging, right? It's actually very, very, very tough to actually put it into play, because what happens is that hanging around with Chargers, it feels good, right? But when you hang around with drainers, right? Like they lower your baseline, and so it's easy, right? And so it comforts you, and so it makes you play small. But playing small at times it feels good because you're not facing the discomfort of leveling up, right? And so we unconsciously end up doing this, right? And I've seen it. And if you're not analyzing your life, if you're not analyzing how things are moving, if you're not analyzing the growth that's happening, then you're never going to really see that you're like, yo, what the fuck? I'm lowering my baseline. And if you zoom out on the year, right, and you look at that year in quarters, you're like, yo, last quarter, I hung around with these people and I was fucking hanging, and I was leveling up. I was doing more. I was looking for ways to make more money. I was doing this. Like they were literally challenging my baseline of what I felt was normal. And then I've looked at quarters in my life and I'm like, yo, damn, around this season in life, I was hanging around with these people, like people that really have no ambition, people who didn't want to evolve, people who are eating like shit, people who don't value working out, people who don't want to become better, who don't value improving their relationship with their wife, people. And then like, if I look at myself during those seasons, and I fucking let myself get down. I let my baseline of how I operate come down, and it wasn't even intentionally. It was subconsciously. It happened because I was hanging around with the people who are battery drainers, who are people who are bringing me down, who are people who and the fucked up part about it is they don't intentionally do it, but you hanging around with that, you being around that, ends up feeding into your mentality, ends up feeding into how you operate, ends up feeding into how you think is normal. And so that is why I like to analyze my life and how's it going. I like to see, I always believe that we're on seasons, right? You're either in a season of growth or a season of contraction. Or you're using, a season of contraction or a season of expansion. That's what I meant to say, right? And so are you expanding right now? Or are you contracting? Right? Are you evolving or are you dissolving? Right? It sounds so easy to say it, but really analyze your life. Audit your circle, right? Like if you had a ride, like let's say we love motorsports here, and if you're following me, for sure that you love motorsports, and so you wouldn't fucking want to upgrade your ride with cheap ass parts, with things that are going to make it slower. Right? And so why would you want to hang around with people who are going to lower your baseline? Like audit your circle, upgrade your surroundings, like if it was horsepower, like raise the boost with the people you hang around with. I guarantee you that you'll start believing more in yourself. I guarantee you if you hang around with people who are doing things at a higher level than you are, you start looking for ways and you're like, yo, damn, man, I need to start leveling up too. Right? But if you hang around with people who have a lower status, who have a lower baseline than you, then you end up subconsciously becoming similar to them. And so do you want to play smaller or do you want to grow? Right? Like for me, it's fucking very obvious. Like I want to grow, I want to evolve, I want to level up, I want to make more money, I want to become a better man, I want to give my family things that I didn't even have growing up and teach them things that I was never taught. Right? But that comes from hanging around with battery chargers, from hanging around with people, being influenced by people that are doing things at a higher level than I am. Upgrade your circle and it becomes like free horsepower for yourself. Downgrade your circle and it becomes like horsepower that's robbing you. So my question for you today, dog, is who in your life is fueling you and who in your life is draining you? Think about it. Like when you spend time with someone and you leave that interaction, do you feel charged up? Do you feel ambitious? Do you feel driven? Or when you leave them, do you feel low energy? Do you feel like, like I'm not gonna do shit. I just wanna go hang out, chill, put my feet up, Netflix and chill. Or do we actually get ambitious? Oh, let's go make more money. Oh, let's go work out. Or let's get the high energy. Oh, let's go get this promotion. Or I'm gonna take my family on this vacation. Like who in your life are you hanging around with? Are people that you're fueling you, or people that are draining you? And my challenge for you today is I want you to cut today. I want you to cut one of those drainers that influence you. Even if it's just muting them, like cut them off. Cut them off. Those drainers from your life today. Make that shit happen. Because the right crew can literally multiply your horsepower. But the wrong one, my brother, will stall your fucking engine. I'm driving a checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm calling every wide open warrior who refuses to accept nothing but the best in their life. It's time to break free from everything that's been holding you back and become the badass motherfucker that you were meant to be. This Live Wide Open movement is the mission that God has tasked me with, and helping you level up, dog, is exactly what I'm here to do. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And if today's message hit home, my brother, then it's time to contribute to the growth of this mission. Send this podcast episode to another man, to another brother, to another motorhead, to another gearhead, to another warrior who's on the same mission as we are, because a better life for our family is non-negotiable. People are counting on you, dog, and it's time to get to fucking work, dog. Let's go!